After entering into a marriage alliance with my abstinent uncle Ethan, he treated me like a younger sister. But I harbored a secret crush on him. To provoke him, I played the cookie passing game in a private lounge. As I bit onto the chocolate stick to pass it to the boy across from me, Ethan's face turned ashen when the guy leaned in. He dragged me to his car, growling, "You want to play games? Let's go home. I'll play with you all night." Ethan perpetually wore gold-rimmed glasses that made my teenage heart flutter with their scholarly allure. I begged my brother Lucas to introduce us. "You can't possibly be interested in that block of wood, Ethan?" Lucas blurted out. My cheeks burned crimson as I nodded shyly. Lucas slammed the car door shut, yelling through the window, "Olivia, pick someone else. The man's practically celibate," before speeding off in a cloud of exhaust. Undeterred, I befriended Ethan's sister Sophie. After a month of strategic mall trips and coffee dates, we became inseparable. "Sophie," I ventured during a juice bar outing, "what kind of girl does your brother like?" She paused dramatically. "His briefcase." "I mean, how do I become Mrs. Wilson?" Sophie sprayed her smoothie across the table, eyes widening like saucers. "Dead serious," I confirmed. After thoughtful consideration, she shrugged. "The 8-year age gap's tricky, but workable." Our scheming led to frequent casual encounters at the Wilson mansion. One afternoon, Sophie shoved a cranberry mocktail into my hands. "Take this to his study. Make it count." My palms slicked with sweat as I knocked. "Enter." His voice carried that crisp professionalism that made my knees weak. Ethan sat bathed in afternoon light, tailored white shirt clinging to his shoulders as he typed. "Brought you hydration?" I squeaked. "The housekeeper handles beverages," he replied without looking up. "I like doing it," I countered. Steel blue eyes met mine. "Uncle. You should call me Uncle." My shoulders slumped. "Yes. Uncle Ethan." Progress stalled as Ethan's reputation grew Wall Street's most eligible workaholic billionaire. During my third consecutive night of frustrated ice cream binging, Mom summoned me with tear-reddened eyes. Dad and Lucas sat stone-faced in the living room. "Are we bankrupt?" I joked nervously. Mom crushed me in a lavender-scented hug. "We've failed you, Olivia." Dad's calloused hands trembled around his cigarette. "I won't let them take my girl." My blood turned to slush. "Not now. Not when I was this close." "The groom's 8 years older," Mom wailed. "That's practically Dad's golf buddy." I howled. Lucas suddenly vaulted from the couch, fists clenched. "I'm going to murder that ice-cold bastard Ethan." Dad grabbed Lucas's wrist. "This isn't his fault either. The Wilson family proposed this. There's no way around it." "Wait. Ethan Wilson?" I sniffled with snot bubbles. Asking incredulously, "The arranged marriage partner is Ethan?" Mom looked heartbroken. "The Wilson child could practically be your uncle." "Poor dear." I cried happy tears. "It's really Ethan?" I turned to hug Mom. "Mom, this is amazing news." "Stop crying, I'm willing to marry Ethan." Mom grimaced. "Huh?" I jumped up. "Dad." "Mom." "Lucas." "When's the wedding?" "I can't wait." Heaven is on my side. They say familiarity breeds affection. With my efforts added, making Ethan fall for me would be child's play. Reality proved me overly optimistic. On our wedding day, Ethan immediately suggested separate bedrooms, claiming this was temporary until he took over the Wilson family. I insisted I wanted to marry him. Ethan simply said, "Don't be childish. You're too young. You'll meet someone you truly love someday." When I complained to Sophie, she comforted me saying he just needed time to adjust. But I never imagined his adaptability would be this poor. A full year passed. He still couldn't handle sharing the same house. Every time I saw Ethan's suit-clad physique, I fought nosebleeds. His broad shoulders, narrow waist, and perfect proportions made him a walking Armani advertisement. My sketchbooks overflowed with full-body portraits of Ethan. During a bitter winter, Ethan returned from a business trip looking exhausted. I reached for his briefcase. "Let me take that." "No need. It's cold." Ethan sidestepped me. "I'll shower and change first." I'd already dismissed the housekeepers. Heart pounding, I changed into lace lingerie and arranged myself provocatively on Ethan's bed. When he emerged wearing only a towel, his steps faltered. His throat worked visibly. "Olivia, you're in the wrong room." He moved toward the door. "I'm exactly where I want to be." The door clicked open anyway. "Cover up. You'll catch cold." He left hastily, certain he wasn't unaffected. I followed. Through the downstairs bathroom mirror, I glimpsed Ethan desperately wiping blood from his nose. Sophie gasped when I told her. The iron tree might bloom? Who knew my brother was such a prude? I sighed. Prude or not, he won't admit anything. "Then force his hand," Sophie suggested. "How?" "He's the scheming type, won't touch you but won't let go. Threaten divorce. He might panic and..." I shook my head. What if he agrees? Ethan's willpower matched his stubbornness. Brute force wouldn't work, I needed subtlety. After explaining my plan, Sophie cheered, "Brilliant. Keep me posted." I gathered old friends at a private lounge, finalizing their roles. I nodded confidently at Sophie. Alex looked nervous. "This feels extreme. What if Ethan punches me?" "I'll cover medical bills." Alex shivered. "Why involve us in your marital games?" Before I could answer, Sophie smacked his head. "Stop asking dumb questions." Alex Johnson clasped his head in his hands and pouted pitifully. Sophie declared, "One final rehearsal. Then I'm calling my brother." Despite countless practice runs, genuine nerves surfaced when the moment arrived. Sophie dialed her brother's number. "Hey Ethan. Are you busy?" "What's up?" "Ethan. Olivia's drunk and causing a scene in the private room. Send me the address." Ethan's voice turned glacial. "You two really outdid yourselves this time. We'll discuss this tomorrow." After hanging up, I chugged 2 beer bottles for authenticity, hiccuping from the carbonation. Alex stared wide-eyed. "Since when do you handle alcohol so well?" I turned sluggishly. "Dunno. First time drinking." Alex and Sophie exchanged panicked glances. "She's wasted." "New." I slurred dramatically. "Sober as, judge." My foggy brain clung to our script, clamping a chocolate stick between my teeth. I tugged Alex's arm. "Bite it. Now." Alex recoiled like I'd offered poison. "Ethan's not even here yet. You're forgetting the plan." I insisted, nearly dislocating his shoulder. "Sophie. Save me." Alex wailed. Sophie checked her phone. Everyone grab drinks and start cheering. "He's here." The entire room's drunkenness was staged except mine. My remaining consciousness fixated on the chocolate stick game. Bang! The door slammed open. Ethan's eyes turned arctic as he scanned the room. After shooting Sophie a lethal glare, he stalked toward me, oblivious. I kept badgering Alex, "Just bite it. This game's awesome." Alex reluctantly cupped my head, squeezing his eyes shut as he leaned in. Crack! Alex's howl echoed off the walls. "Uncle!" "I swear we'll never, Uncle, stop." I blinked slowly. "Why hit people? We're playing." Ethan barked at Sophie, "Take him to urgent care. Now." The last word cracked like a whip, sending everyone scrambling. Within seconds, the room emptied. Ethan massaged his temples, staring at my sprawled form. "Uncle Ethana." I giggled. "Wanna play?" He drained a whiskey tumbler and slammed it down. Suddenly his face filled my vision. Those ocean-deep eyes swallowing me whole. Adorable drunk. He murmured. Was it? Nothing. He settled beside me. Explain the rules. Fumbling with a new chocolate stick. I mumbled around my bite. You, other end, wanna? His thumb brushed my lower lip, hovering at the edge of my mouth. You want games? His breath warmed my cheek. We'll play properly at home. Carrying me to his car. He buckled me in as I writhed against the seatbelt. So hot. Endure it. He commanded, knuckles whitening on the steering wheel. He returned to the driver's seat but didn't start the car immediately, turning to look at me instead. Olivia, you're quite the wild one, aren't you? Just average. I pressed against the window to peer outside. Come back, Ethan commanded with that authoritative tone that always made me nervous. Cold air gets in when driving. I obediently withdrew as the window closed. The long drive lulled me into drowsiness until sudden braking jolted me awake. My eyes flew open to find Ethan's face inches from mine. Our breaths mingled as my intoxicated brain short-circuited. The words slipping out, hubby, his normally stoic expression flickered with barely restrained emotion. Still drunk? Sober now. Without another word, he exited to open my door. Can you walk straight? Completely sober, I insisted stubbornly. He simply stepped aside with a curt gesture. So harsh. Pouting. I attempted to climb out only to pitch forward helplessly. Instead of meeting pavement, I found myself cradled against Ethan's chest, his neck tendons flexing beneath flushed skin. Drunken impulse made me nip at his throat. The man froze. Olivia, he growled. If you ever drink again, you're finding another place to live. Okay. I mumbled, secretly reveling in this liquid courage. My restless fingers kept exploring his collar during the hurried walk inside until he unceremoniously dumped me on the living room sofa. After instructing the housekeepers to watch me, Ethan loosened his tie heading toward the ground floor bathroom. My stomach churned awake later, sending me staggering past busy kitchen staff toward running water sounds. There he stood behind fogged glass, my personal Adonis showering mere feet away. Before rationality returned, I'd turned the knob. Water cascaded over Ethan's paused form, golden light glinting on droplets tracing his abdominal grooves. My gaze traveled lower. Done staring? He'd secured a towel around his hips, wet hair dripping down furious features. I shook my head dumbly. The slammed door's lock click echoed as blood suddenly gushed from my nose. Livy! The housekeeper gasped, grabbing my probing fingers. Don't touch! Let me clean that. She guided my towel-tilted head back to the sofa where I hiccuped softly, the metallic tang lingering as bathroom pipes hummed through the wall. Sitting on the sofa, my mind kept replaying the scene of Ethan taking a shower. Lost in these thoughts, I gradually drifted off to sleep. When I woke up the next day, the aftermath of last night's drinking left me with a splitting headache. Fragmented memories flickered through my mind, dissolving into blankness whenever I tried grasping them. I had blacked out. I contacted Sophie to ask if I'd caused any scenes while drunk. She sounded incredulous. What? You don't remember? I nodded dejectedly. Most of it's gone. Sophie massaged her temples. What about Ethan? How did he react today? I sighed. He left early. The housekeeper said he's on a business trip. For how long? Didn't ask. Though uncertain about last night's events. Inexplicable guilt gnawed at me. I can't face him until I figure out what happened. Sophie paused before explaining. After Ethan arrived yesterday, he punched Alex and told me to take him to the hospital. The others left with us. Whatever happened afterward, only you two know. Her account offered no clarity. I racked my conscience-stricken brain. Surely I hadn't mauled him with drunken kisses? If I had, given my charms, we'd have woken up together, not with him fleeing on some sudden business trip. 2 days passed without a single message from him. Not even fake concern for his supposed little sister. As I sulked in Ethan's mansion, fragmented memories suddenly surfaced. Ethan's icy if you're hot. Endure it. His detached get out by the car door. His harsh warning don't come home if you drink again. It took minutes to realize these were drunken recollections. No tender care. No jealous outbursts over me cozying up with other guys. The hard truth settled. Ethan saw me only as a sister. That nosebleed over my lingerie? Mere male biology. Muttering, wonder how long I can keep living here before the Wilsons kick me out. I drowned my sorrows again. This time, I simply lay quietly in bed. My first pursuit, chasing my own uncle, had crashed spectacularly. Even knowing his indifference. 3 days without contact felt excessive. Shouldn't he at least check on his sister alone in this freezing mausoleum? The mansion's cavernous emptiness amplified winter's bone-chilling dryness. The housekeeper left nightly at 8. When I'd asked why, Ethan shrugged. I travel often. No need. Then, with uncharacteristic consideration, do you want her to stay? I'd quickly declined. How could lovers flirt with staff around? Now, at 1 o'clock in the morning with thunder shaking the foundations. I deeply regretted that choice. Lightning illuminated the deserted villa. Rain lashed the glass doors like demonic fingernails. Crash, a flower pot shattered. Just the wind. I chanted, fumbling for my phone's flashlight. Click. The light switch moved. But darkness persisted. A power outage? Trembling. I tried lamps, nothing. The storm wailed like mourners at a graveside. Wind howling through empty corridors. The moment this thought crossed my mind, my legs turned to jelly. Praying to God, I scrambled toward the bed only to trip halfway, collapsing to my knees with a thud. Ouch! I hissed, rubbing my sore kneecaps. When I looked up to continue my panicked retreat, I found myself staring directly into the bedroom mirror where the curtain swayed ominously behind my reflection. A scream tore from my throat as I fumbled with my phone. Instinctively video calling the first contact in my favorites. The line connected after 3 rings. Hello? Came a sleep, roughened voice that instantly anchored me. My screen revealed I'd accidentally called Ethan instead of Lucas. Ethan. My voice shook as tears spilled over. I'm scared. The rustling of sheets sounded through the speaker. Olivia? Why are you crying? He asked. Fully alert now. Curled into a trembling ball on the carpet. I choked out. The storm, the power's out. Look at me. Ethan commanded with soothing firmness. I'm right here with you. Get back in bed, I'll stay on the line. But the mirror. I whimpered, keeping my eyes squeezed shut. Something's wrong with it. Point your camera at it. Why? Let me see. It's terrifying. Aren't you scared? Not when I'm with you. He answered without hesitation. After several shaky breaths, I aimed my phone blindly. Silence stretched before Ethan's sudden chuckle broke the tension. Since when do you sleep in strawberry bear pajamas? Olivia? My eyes flew open. I dove under the covers like a startled rabbit. You're seeing things. Heat flooded my cheeks, after months of wearing silk negligées to maintain my sophisticated image. This childish print had betrayed me. Ethan's quiet laughter vibrated through the speaker. Of course. He humored me, though I caught the smirk in his voice. Annoyance overrode my fear. What's wrong with a sister wearing cute pajamas? I snapped, regretting it instantly when his amusement died. Sister? The word dropped like ice. My bravado faltered. Well, technically nothing. He cut in coldly. The following silence grew teeth, broken only by howling winds outside. Strangely comforted by his steady breathing, my eyelids began drooping until Ethan suddenly announced, Sophie's downstairs. Now. I bolted upright. As if summoned, Sophie's voice echoed from the foyer. Coming! I yelled before hastily telling Ethan. I'm hanging up to see Sophie. I found my cousin swaddled in a floor-length puffer coat. Alex yawning beside her. You owe me lobster dinners for a year. Sophie grumbled, rubbing sleep from her eyes. Your husband's assistant dragged us out of bed at 3 a.m. Guilt prickled as I hugged her. You're my hero. Soph. Damn right. She muttered, already trudging toward the guest room. And you're buying me Jimmy Choos tomorrow. Sophie added with lingering fear. I've been worried sick the whole way here. I texted my brother but he didn't reply. Then I texted you and still got nothing. I thought something terrible happened. I hurriedly checked my phone, finally noticing the 18 unread message notifications under Sophie's profile picture. I offered an apologetic smile. She'd been messaging while I was on the phone with Ethan, completely oblivious to her attempts. As the rain tapered off past midnight, Sophie and Alex retreated to separate rooms to catch up on sleep. I returned to bed too, the presence of others in the villa gradually soothing my earlier anxieties. Half asleep, I sensed movement nearby followed by a faint chill. Blinking awake, I suddenly gasped. Ethan? His voice carried exhaustion, droplets still glistening in his disheveled hair. The usually pristine businessman stood with rain-soaked fabric clinging to his frame, lips flushed crimson from cold. It's me. Go back to sleep, he murmured. I obediently lay down but couldn't tear my eyes from his uncharacteristically rumpled appearance, the impeccable Wilson air now damp and disarrayed. Yet here because of me. Ethan. Just as I'd resolved to move on. Why did you have to reappear? Waking at 3 p.m. the next day, I went searching for Ethan only to freeze at the staircase. The living room below overflowed with luggage as Ethan sat flanked by 5 middle-aged women. Please ensure Olivia receives proper care, he instructed. One matronly figure beamed. Worried about leaving your wife alone? Don't fret. We'll make sure Livy's well-fed and thriving. Ethan cleared his throat awkwardly, offering no correction to the wife remark. The unresolved tension from our drunken encounter gnawed at me. Finally, I confided in Sophie over sodas. What's wrong? Unhappy with whatever my brother did last week? She probed. I shook my head, then nodded helplessly. Remember when I got drunk? You blacked out. Didn't you? Memories came back. My throat tightened recalling Ethan's icy demeanor. Sophie's eyes lit up. How did it end? Did he shower you with affection? Carry you bridal style? No one could resist their sweet, tipsy wife. He yelled at me. Hot tears spilled over as I choked out. Made me get out of the car myself. Threatened to kick me out if I ever drank again. Dumped me on the couch like garbage. I spat the last word through trembling lips. Sophie gaped. Olivia. Are we talking about the same Ethan? My brother's sarcastic but never cruel. Then he must hate me specifically. I wailed. The door exploded open, rebounding off the wall with a crash. Sophie shot up. Soda forgotten. As Lucas stormed in radiating fury. His glare could have vaporized steel as he ground out through clenched teeth. Ethan, that son of a bitch. Bro. I stood up, changing the subject. What are you doing here? Brought you mom's homemade braised meat. Lucas raised his hand, revealing a thermos as big as a basin hanging from his palm. When I took it and smelled the familiar aroma, my grievances amplified tenfold. I ended up eating my tears along with the meal. My brother later stormed into Ethan's office wielding a kitchen knife. I couldn't stop him. Eventually forced to remind him Ethan was technically our uncle through marriage. Lucas sneered. So what? However old he is, he's still my baby sister's man. The fight that ensued looked more like Ethan getting pummeled. His gold-rimmed glasses clattered to the floor as he blocked punches without retaliating. Have you lost your mind? When did I ever mistreat Olivia? Lucas aimed another fist at his face. worried he'd permanently damage Ethan's model-worthy features. I lunged to wrap arms around my brother's waist. "Stop hitting his face." Both men froze mid-motion. Lucas finally lowered his fists. "You left my drunk sister alone on the couch?" Ethan leaned against his desk, blinking. "The housekeeper was with her." "Then why make her walk drunk? She could have fallen." "When did I make her walk?" The righteous tirade faltered. "Our precious girl." Emboldened by my brother's presence, I blurted, "You did." Counting offenses on trembling fingers, told me not to come home drunk. Dumped me on the couch and left. Ethan sighed. Convenient memory only remembers the bad. My voice shrank. "But you were bad." Without his glasses. Ethan's gaze softened. "You're forgetting context." Lucas took a strategic step back. Context? After dismissing his staff, Ethan addressed us in the empty office. "I stopped the drinking games with those frat boys. You insisted you weren't drunk when I tried carrying you inside." His voice dropped. "You didn't walk. I carried you the whole way." When Ethan's eyes flicked to my lips, Lucas suddenly became very interested in the ceiling. "Look, man." Brotherly concern. "You get it." He practically teleported out. Later texting, my back's permanently hunched from that walk of shame. Alone. Ethan hoisted me onto his desk. Thumbs digging into my waist. "Remember what you did that night?" His stubble scratched my chin as he kissed my neck. Heat bloomed where his lips touched. "Remember now?" Memories flooded back tangled limbs. Steam-filled bathroom. I nodded. His gaze dropped to my mouth. "Why didn't you tell me about your business trip?" "You were shy?" Ethan's laugh vibrated against my skin. "After barging in on my shower? You're the one who played aggressor." I jolted. Memories flooding back. "Do I need to refresh your memory?" I immediately replied. "No." Ethan asked obliquely. "Do you think I'm wronged?" "Yes." "Your brother Lucas hit me so hard. Should there be compensation?" I seemed to lose consciousness. Responding like a puppet, "Yes." "Then can I kiss you?" "Yes." The moment I blurted this out, I woke from my trance. "No." His lips swallowed my protest. His fervent assault left me gasping for air. My waist imprisoned by his steel grip. Only when I desperately pounded his shoulders did he reluctantly release me. "Olivia." He breathed heavily. "You've been testing my limits. The age difference, I gave you a year to consider this. Once you're mine, there's no backing out." He gripped my hand. "If you ever love another, don't expect me to let you go." "I won't. Never anyone else." My cheeks burned crimson. My happiness had finally arrived. The subsequent days proved Ethan's insatiable appetite. Like a starved wolf finally tasting meat. The long-restrained man lost all control. Even his beloved work became secondary, rising at noon for brief office hours. Returning by 5. "Olivia." The mattress dipped as Ethan slid beside me, casually draping an arm over my shoulders. "We need to talk." "What?" I kept scrolling through my phone. He confiscated my device. "Look at me." I teased. "You're not as interesting as my screen." Watching his expression fall, I relented with a hug. "Joking." "What is it?" "I'm leaving on a business trip tomorrow morning." "Tomorrow?" I sat upright. "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" "Didn't want to upset you." "Where?" "To the States." My heart sank. "How long?" His gentle tone contradicted the cruelty. "A month." Who starts a relationship with immediate long distance? "Other girlfriends." "Not girlfriend." He interrupted. At my confusion, he amended, "Wife." Heat exploded across my face. Burying myself in blankets. Inner fireworks celebrating. Who claimed older men were boring? Seasoned lovers knew all the right words. Ethan's silver tongue dissolved my anger within minutes. I even pretended nonchalance. Good timing. I can finally paint. Indeed. He flipped through my sketchbook with indulgent smiles. Impressive? The front pages showcased my latest character designs. Every stroke meticulous. Brilliant. His admiring gaze warmed me until his praise abruptly ceased. My blood froze. Oh no. The later pages contained my sketches of Ethan in various states of undress. My face paled as I bolted from the bed to snatch back the sketchbook. Relief flooded me when the pages revealed no trace of my ring designs. Ethan's breathing grew uneven, his gaze burning into me until I couldn't meet his eyes. He inhaled sharply. The date in the lower left corner, 4 years ago? You'd just turned 18? I glanced away, murmuring affirmation. My obsession had begun earlier, back when I devoured elite romance novels. Ethan mirrored those fictional male leads perfectly, drawing my constant attention until admiration spiraled into irreversible infatuation. I'd sketched him endlessly across notebooks and margins before hunger for the real thing consumed me. Fortune smiled when the Wilson-Smith Alliance marriage materialized right after I reached legal age. Clutching the sketchbook to my chest, I froze under the weight of exposed secrets. Ethan closed the distance, calloused thumb grazing my cheek as his voice dropped to gravel. Looking properly now. You've truly matured. His fingers traced my lip. I wrestled with scaring you away versus losing you to others. The arranged marriage was my desperate solution. You planned this? His shameless grin sparkled with triumph. Obviously. Clever. No? Secure you first. Let love follow naturally. His lips found my earlobe, electric currents rippling through every nerve. 3 days into Ethan's business trip, my hips finally stopped throbbing. The fading love bites on my neck marked time until I dragged Sophie shopping, declaring, "Charge everything to your brother's account." 2 days of revelry left hollow emptiness. After finalizing client-approved illustrations in record time, restless longing drove me to action. I contacted a jeweler friend, approved the ring prototype, then conspired with Ethan's secretary about the surprise. The private jet to M Country carried me straight to the luxury brand launch where Ethan represented the Wilsons. Stage lights carved his sharp features into marble perfection, aloof executive persona masking the man who'd whispered filth in dark bedrooms. Masterful performance, I muttered, texting from the audience. Smooth talker, I miss you. Today's dragging. His phone chimed audibly. My device buzzed. Ethan, be good. We'll do it at home. I flipped the phone face down, cheeks flaming, glaring at the screen. I typed, "What are you doing?" His reply burned through the pixels, "You." Hopeless. The man was utterly hopeless. My facial expressions were completely out of control in the audience while the man on stage kept texting without changing his expression. I muttered "smooth operator" under my breath. When the press conference ended, Ethan immediately called. "Hello?" I covered my phone's microphone and hurried to the restroom. "Weren't you busy?" "Just finished." His voice warmed through the receiver. "Missed you." I smiled secretly, replying playfully, "Oh, someone can't get me out of their head." Correct. The sound of a car door closing came through. My smile froze. Wasn't there supposed to be another meeting? What about me? Where are you going? Back to the apartment to shower. Shower WH. I suddenly understood. Ethan sighed. Your effect on me is too strong. I pouted. Can you wait for me? What? Pushing open the restroom door, I found Alex waiting. My heels clicked urgently against the floor as I rushed despite the discomfort. Ethan sounded confused. Why are you running around? I sneaked to the car's left side. Opened the door. As if telepathic. He immediately looked out the tinted window. Left side. Silly. Got it. The door swung open and strong hands pulled me inside. The driver promptly raised the privacy partition. Be careful with my new Chanel style set. I pretended to scold. Then struck a pose. Well, The cropped tweed jacket and knee-hugging skirt combination was completely new territory for me. Completed with stilettos. Ethan's throat moved visibly. Stunning. He texted his assistant, "Clear my schedule for 2 days. Send updated itinerary to Alex. Work should come first." I protested weakly as he tossed his phone aside. "You come first." Ethan proved his words through actions that left my new outfit thoroughly ruined. When I finally regained consciousness, moonlight silvered the sleeping face beside me, tracing the faint red marks along his neck. I slid matching rings onto our intertwined fingers. Before drifting back to sleep, I smiled against his shoulder. "Ethan, you proposed the marriage, but I put on the rings. Neither of us are cowards in love."